Hi everyone, Kim here. I thought I'd take a minute to go into the Cricut Design Space and show my version of how I size the card base with the envelope. I just finished watching Melody Lane's video and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. But I thought, gosh, what the heck, I'll do a video on it and share how I taught myself how to do it. So I'm going to click on images. I've already been playing with it, so the cartridge is just automatically going to come up. And I'm going to click on, I'm calling it card number 4 because it's the 4th card that shows in the manual. 2 images grouped together. We want to ungroup the 2 images. So I'm going to right click and ungroup. You don't want to move these at this point. You want to highlight your envelope, right click and group it, and you can put that out of the way. You want to do the same thing for the card base. Highlight it, right click and group. Now you want to size the card base. It's a regular A2 size card. So you want to come over to edit, unlock it. We're going to make it a 5.5 in the height and an 8.5 in the width. So there you have your card base. And because it's all grouped, you can kind of see the blue layers behind it. When you go to cut it, your mat will cut it out all differently. So you don't have to be concerned about that. Now you have this little tiny envelope. Now how I did it, I'm just going to go through the process on how I figured out how I did this. I moved the envelope to the front. So I clicked on arrange and I said move forward. Teeny tiny envelope. Now I first started out, I'm going to move this down just a little bit. I first started out by just making the envelope the size of the card. So I did 5.5 and 8.5. Now it does match up with the card, but because this envelope has flaps, you want to make the height bigger. You can keep the width, but you want to make the height bigger because there's little score lines right here that you're going to fold. So let's go ahead and make that height bigger. I think I did 6.5. I'm going to just move that up, just watching it. So it's right on the top of the card there. I don't know if you can see my arrow, it's right there. But it's not going to work down here. So let's make it a little bigger. Let's just go to 7.0. All right, move that up, line that up a little bit. This flap will fold over just fine. And this flap looks like it will too. Now here's where I stopped and I said, I need to move that card to the front. So I clicked on move to the front. And I move my envelope here just a little bit. And check to see how that's matching up. Now my envelope can actually be bigger. It needs to be bigger. So I clicked on the envelope and I'm going to keep that height for just a minute. But I'm going to add just 1/4 of it to the width. So right now I'm at 9.0 for the width and 7 for the height. Now your ultimate goal is to make sure that your card score lines are just slightly smaller than your envelope score lines, but you don't want to alter your card size because that is your A2 size card. So you kind of want to move that up just a little bit more. Now I just happen to know that it's the width is 9.4. That's what I ended up sizing it at. And I'm going to bring that down just a little bit. You could even make your envelope just a little bit bigger if you wanted to. So I'm going to click on the envelope and I could do, a 9.5 in the width. There we go. All right, now I'm just going to use my finger because I don't think that you can see this on the video. That's the score line for the envelope, and that's the score line for the card. So it's just slightly smaller, and that's exactly what you want. Another thing too, see this, the score line here and the score line here, which is going to give you plenty of room for the card to slide in the envelope after you fold those flaps down. So for this card, number 4, your card is your A2 size card, 5.5 by 8.5, and your envelope is going to be 7 inches in height and 9.5 in the width. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. We'll go to the crafting table and I'll show you how it all works. Alright, so all the images are cut out. I just wanted to say, if you're using the cartridge, all you have to do is set it at 5.5, which is the recommended size, and it'll cut out all by itself. The cartridge cannot be used on the Cricut Explorer. We'll just put that in a nutshell. Another thing I wanted to point out, this is the card that we're doing here, is how it cuts through the Cricut Design Space. The first mat, you get your envelope. The second mat, you get your inserts. And then the third mat, you get your card and the lining of the envelope. So we're just going to take that off and set that aside. Oh, just hit my lap. And just going to take this mat, is not brand new, but it's new enough that it's going to keep those little pieces. And I'm just going to take this right off of here. And then here's the lining. And then we'll scrape off that stuff later. I'm using American Crafts paper, sideways. This is something I got online from Joann's. It's called The Color of Memories. It's smooth. It's not textured. And I think I got this whole paper pack for $8.99. And you can see all the great colors it has. Alright, so here's our card base, our liner of our envelope, and our insert. So let's put our inserts in first. Now, you know, I always do things like when the Simple Card Cricut cartridge series that I was doing, I need to pick that back up. But this series as well, as I'm making the card, I start thinking like, what else can you add to this? And the couple things that popped into my head were bling. And you have a space here that you could put bling. And then there's another flower right here. Or you could put enamel dots. I don't know, maybe if you're brave enough, you could also, if you did this like a white card base, you could go in and use like a finger dauber and ink some of these flowers in a different color. You know, I mean, the possibilities are, it goes on and on. I don't think my glue is working, so I'm just going to put that right on the edge because I don't want the glue to come through the cut images on here. You really don't need a lot. This Tombow is great stuff. Alright, now the score lines, which you probably can't see, worked out very, very well with the Explorer. That's one thing I was looking forward to, getting my new Explorer after my other one broke, was to see the difference between what the Expression did and what the Explorer did. That's the score line right there. So just easy peasy. You can, you know, use your bone folder and rescore it again if you want to do that on your scoreboard. Or like with me, I'm just following that line and folding it over. And I get my bone folder. My glue is drying. It's whatever you want to do. You can, you know, fold it over first, or you can put your inserts in first. I've done it both ways. All right, so let's see if this glue is still going to work for me. Flip it like this. Put it in right there on that score line. And press it down. And then we'll do this one as well. Not putting too much glue so it doesn't ooze out. Using that score line as your guide. And you're done with the inside. My card number 3 video, I put a piece of ribbon and wrapped around it, but I was also thinking how cute it might be if you cut a strip of the orange, or you could use a punch, an edge punch, and make a band that you would wrap around here. And I can do that off camera, and when I put this on my blog, you'll see what it looks like. All right, so here's the envelope. This is the envelope that we cut at 7 by 9.5. It's got some score lines here. And this is Recollections cardstock. It's just white, no texture or anything like that, so it's good to go. Which is good for an envelope. And I'm folding all these in using that score line that the Explorer did for me. Now let's put in the insert. And the insert score line is right here, but you're going to want that to fold in so that it matches with that score line there. Now you can put glue down here if you want, I mean maybe to anchor it, but I don't really think it's necessary to do the whole thing. You know, it's whatever you want to do. You find what's best for you after you start working on these. Just look on the other side, make sure all that's covered. And I'm going to score it again. And just kind of anchor that down. And score that in. I put my liner down a little bit too far, so it's always something, huh? I'm just going to bring this up and score it again. And then I know next time to really pay attention to this bottom one as well. Okay, so then I want to hook these back up, and my score tape. My little one, there it is. Stuck to other stuff in my little bin. I'm going to put score tape here. And score tape here. Now, if you don't want to put score tape on the envelope to seal it and mail it, you can use what's called glue gum, G-U-M. I got it off of Amazon, and I have used it. And I'm going to make it so that it's just there's a little bit of a empty pocket in there. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's going to slide right in. So, just to review, you have your envelope size using the Cricut Design Space for this card, number 4, 9.5 by 7, and it fits in perfectly. And then you just make your A2 size card as normal, which is your 8.5 by 5. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any comments or questions, please leave a comment, and I'll get back to you. And thanks so much for joining me with these series. More to come.